unearthed the illicit operations of Empire 999, a company owned by foreign nationals masquerading as Filipino citizens. This led to the revelations of massive illegal land acquisition involving hundreds of hectares of agricultural lands in direct violation of our Constitution. It further exposed suspicious ties between local government officials and foreign syndicates, pointing to corruption and systemic exploitation. Mr. Speaker, our inquiry delved deeper into the operations of these entities and uncovered an even more sinister reality. Their connections to the illegal drug trade and organized crime activities facilitated by POGOs. What was initially presented as a revenue-generating industry has instead become a breeding ground for illegal activities such as human trafficking, money laundering, investment scams, cybercrimes, and even murder. Sa ating investigasyon, Mr. Speaker, ay nakita natin na ang modus operandi ng mga POGOs ay gumamit ng mga Pilipinong dummies bilang mga nominal na may-ari upang magtatag ng mga korporasyon na nagpapahintulot sa mga dayuhan na iwasan ang mga batas na naglilimita sa pagmamay-ari at operasyon sa mga industriya tulad ng gaming at real estate. Ang mga korporasyong ito ay may mga magkakaugnay na layers upang itago ang tunay na pinagmulan ng pondo at pagkakakilanlan ng mga operators na nagpapahirap sa mga otoridad na masubaybayan ang mga iligal na mga aktibidad. Mr. Speaker, ang mga POGOs na ito ay naguhugas ng pera mula sa mga krimen tulad ng human trafficking, illegal na pagsusugal, bentahan ng droga at cybercrimes sa pamamagitan ng pagpapadaan ng pondo sa mga bank account, pagbili ng ari-arian at iba pang mga instrumentong pinansyal na pinapalabas na lehitimong operasyon ng kanilang mga negosyo. Ang ganitong layering ay hindi lamang nagtatago sa iligal na pinagmulan ng pondo, kundi pinapaliit din ang binabayarang buwis at pinoprotektahan ang mga operator mula sa pagkakadiskubre. Mr. Speaker, karaniwang pinapadali ang mga iskim na ito ng mga tiwaling opisyal at empleyado ng ating gobyerno, ng ating mga regulatory agencies at mga institusyong pinansyal kapalit ng suhol na naglalagay sa peligro ng sistema ng batas at pananalapi sa ating bansa. But perhaps the most chilling revelations, Mr. Speaker, pertains to the extrajudicial killings that have scarred our nation's history. The investigations brought to light a harrowing narrative of abuse of power and institutional impunity during the Duterte administration. Witness testimonies corroborated by evidence revealed a system that incentivized the killing of suspected drug personalities, a system modeled after the so-called Davao template and replicated nationwide. Mr. Speaker, this is not merely a report of the past wrongdoings, but a call to action. The Quad Committee has responded by filing concrete legislative measures aimed at addressing the gaps in our legal framework. Number 1, House Bill number 10986, classifying and penalizing extrajudicial killings as heinous crime while providing reparations for its victims. Number 2, House Bill number 10987, prohibiting all forms of offshore gaming operations in the country with severe penalties for violations. Number 3, House Bill number 11043, allowing civil forfeiture of unlawfully acquired real estate properties by foreign nationals. Number 4, House Bill number 11117, providing for the administrative cancellation of birth certificates fraudulently obtained by foreign nationals. In addition to these proposed bills, Mr. Speaker, our inquiries have already yielded significant actions. Number 1, the Joint Committee inquiry prompted authorities to reopen investigations into the murders of Police General Wesley Barayuga, former Albuera Leyte Mayor Rolando Espinosa, and 3 Chinese nationals killed inside the Davao prison in Penal Farm. 2, the certificate of registration of or incorporation of Empire 999 Realty Corporation was revoked by the SEC. Number 3, the Philippine passport of Mr. Kai Kimeng, also known as Mr. Willie Ong, and Yang Jiazheng, also known as A.D. Tai Yang, were canceled by the concerned government agencies. The findings of the Joint Committee led to the filing of legal cases against Go Waping, also known as Alice Leal Go, including charges of human trafficking and graft and corruption. Number 5, the chairperson of the PAOK directed the Anti-Money Laundering Council to file for court-issued freeze orders or provisional asset preservation orders against assets linked to unlawful activities. These include the following corporations: Lucky South Limited Corporation, Whirlwind Corporation, Biancham Holdings and Trading Incorporated, Empire 999 Realty Corporation, Sunflare Industrial Supply Corporation, Yatay Industrial Park Incorporated, Mexico 999 Industry Realty and Development Corporation. These actions underscore the progress achieved through our investigations in addressing systemic crimes and abuses. We have also recommended, Mr. Speaker, amendments to relevant laws, including the Anti-Money Laundering Act, the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act, the Civil Registry Law, the Anti-Dummy Law, the Bank Secrecy Law, the new Philippine Passport Act, the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act, the Cybercrime Prevention Act, the Tariff and Customs Code, the Revised Corporation Code, and the Local Government Code, among others. Mr. Speaker, in total, we have recommended at least 30 proposed legislations, and these measures aim to strengthen our legal frameworks and ensure that such abuses and misdeeds are prevented in the future. The Quadcom likewise recommends the filing of appropriate charges against the following. Number one, personalities linked to the illegal drug trade, particularly those implicated in the seizure of 360 kilograms of shabu in Mexico, Pampanga. Kai Meng, alias also known as Willie Ong, Yang Jiazheng, also known as Eddie Taiyang, Mayor Teddy Tumang, and all the incorporators of Empire 999. Number two, perpetrators of crimes against humanity under Section 6 of Republic Act 9851 or the Philippine Act on Crimes Against International Humanitarian Law, Genocide, and Other Crimes Against Humanity. Former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Senator Roland Bato de la Rosa, Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo, former PNP Chief Oscar David Albayalde, former PNP Chief Debold Sinas, Police Colonel Royina Garma, Police Colonel Edilberto Leonardo, and Hermina Muking Espino. Number three, the co-conspirators in the murder of Chu Kintung, Li Lanyang, and Wong Mengpin, the three Chinese nationals killed inside the Davao Penal Prison and Penal Farm on August 13 of 2016. Former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Police Colonel Royina Garma, Police Colonel Edilberto Leonardo, SPO4 Arthur Narsolis, and Superintendent Gerardo Padilla. Number four, individuals involved in the murder of General Wesley Barayuga, Police Colonel Royina Garma, Police Colonel Edilberto Leonardo, Police Lieutenant Colonel Santi Mendoza, former PNP Officer Nelson Mariano, PSMS Jeremy Tox Kausapin, and one alias Loloy. Moreover, Mr. Speaker, further investigations should be conducted against, but not limited to, the following individuals. Number one, personalities implicated in the illegal drug trade in relation to the revelations provided by resource persons Jimmy Guban and Mark Taguba, Representative Paulo Duterte, Councilor Nilo Abilera Jr., Mr. Paul Gutierrez, Mr. Benny Antiporda, Mr. Jojo Bacud, a certain Tita Nani, and Mr. Allen Capuyan. Number two, personalities identified to be involved in the illegal drug trade during the course of the legislative hearings: Ong Ming Yang, also known as Michael Yang, Wei Xiong Lin, also known as Alan Lim, Charlie Tan, and Mr. Sammy Uy. Number three, personalities involved in POGO-related illegal activities: Attorney Herminio Harry Roque Jr., Catherine Cassandra Lee Ong, Go Waping, or also known as Alice Leal Go, Yang Jian Sin, also known as Tony Yang, and Hong Jiang Yang, the younger brother of Tony Yang and Michael Yang. Mr. Speaker, our work is far from over. The Quad Committee's progress thus far is a testament to what we can achieve when we confront corruption and criminality with courage and resolve. However, it also underscores the magnitude of the challenges we face. This is a defining moment for this Congress, Mr. Speaker. It is an opportunity to uphold the rule of law, protect our nation's sovereignty, and deliver justice to those who have been wronged. I urge my fellow legislators to give this report the attention it deserves and to support the proposed measures that will ensure these injustices are never repeated. Together, let us take the necessary steps to restore faith in our institutions and reaffirm our commitment to the Filipino people. Maraming salamat and Merry Christmas, Mr. Speaker.